think I might have found a way to break Talor's curse.
Go on.
Well, after listening to the village elders and scouring every likely-looking tome in the library, I learned that not all Tomberries are the same little green menaces we know and loathe. Apparently, a chosen few live to incredible ages and grow to many times the size of their... The folktales hold that it's the very eldest of these, the Tomberry kings, who weave the curses, and that their magics bind their victims to them, that they might...
So if we slay the one that cast the curse, the feeding will cease.
But that was my thinking, yes. Though I doubt it'll be easy. These kings are not just bigger, they're stronger too. And if the tales are true, their followers will defend them to the death. It is a perilous proposition, in short. But it may also be Talor's only hope.
I'll do it. Even if killing this king doesn't break the curse.
Thank you.
So then, where will I find it?
That, alas, I do not know. It must have woven the curse at the altar.
Fannet! You were the one asking about Tonberries, right? Because there's a whole bloody army of them out on the cloak.
What? But why would they stray so far?
There's only one way to find out. I'll head up the mountain and see what's going on.
Right. Thank you.
Hey, mister! Over here! Please, mister, you've got to help us. The village is in danger, and if someone doesn't do something... you should have seen it!
Stop. Take a deep breath and tell me everything.
Sorry. My name's Eirik. When you went up to the Erevalvers with Miss Shula, I followed you.
You could have been killed.
Lady Shula told us you lot were great warriors, so I thought I'd be alright if I stayed close like. But then I lost track of you in the woods, and that's when I saw it.
Saw what?
A great, big, dripping, drooling monster. Spitting out great spouts of water it was, that were tearing up the ground and...
Spouts of water? I don't recall seeing anything like that in the forest.
Well, I did, and I don't ever want to see it again.
All right. If this creature is as terrible as you claim, it could well pose a threat to the village.
Thanks, mister. It was over by the Swift one that I saw it.
Then that's where I'll start my search. But this time, you're going to stay here. Understood?
I wouldn't go through those gates for 1,000 gil. Not with that thing out there.
And then I dreamed.
My lord, might I have a moment of your time?
Certainly.
It's a long story. But before we get to that...
Yes. She said that your ancestors found her here, and that it was she who taught them the spell to stop time. She was like Wallius, you know. A dominant. The Warden of Ice.
My great-grandmother suspected as much. She cared for the poor woman when the end was, and it was she whose duty became to attend her grave. A duty that was passed down.
I see. And...
Well, until recently, the path to the grave had long been blocked by a fallen tree. But when our woodsmen finally found time to move it, we quickly realized it might have been better had they not. On trying to clear the rest of the path, you see, we discovered that a flock of bloodthirsty beasts had claimed the cliffs beyond. None of us was a match for them. But you, my lord, have proven your strength many times over.
Of course. I'll see the path is made safe.
Thank you, my lord. The grave is in a place called Witchdrop. To reach it, one must turn left at the Winged Wains, then follow the path around to the right, deep into the forest.
Why so far from Haven?
It was where she lived. When our ancestors first came to Mysidia, they found her there, in an old abandoned village. And it was her heartfelt wish to return there in death. So when she passed away, my great-grandmother had a stone erected for her on the cliffs overlooking the place she once called home.
How thoughtful. Well then, no time like the present. Left at the ships, then round to the right, you said.
Just so. Thank you once again, my lord.
You wouldn't happen to have some time on your hands, would you, Clive? Only I was wondering if you might help me with something else.
Don't tell me. Another unruly dominant.
Not quite, but a dangerous foe nonetheless. It promises to be quite a hunt. Care to join me?
All right. Tell me about our quarry.
A fiendish, cold-blooded beast known as a Givra. Normally, we leave such animals well alone, and I have an even better reason to want its tongue.
Its tongue.
If you'll permit me, tributary, I can explain.
Certainly, Yamila.
It's been over a week since me sister gave birth to her first child, yet she still isn't back on her feet. We've tried everything to restore her spirits. Physics and nostrums, the laying on of hands and of leeches, but all to no avail. The healers tell me there's only one hope left. A broth as potent as its ingredients are perilous to procure.
It isn't only Yamila's sister who stands to benefit from this, by the way. There's her baby to think of, and Walias, too. She'd agreed to be his wet nurse, you see.
I'd be glad to help.
Thank you. Our hunters have no shortage of skill, but this task calls for more than that. And it won't be achieved through weight of numbers either. The Givra is as wary a foe as it is a deadly one. 2 hunters might catch it unawares, but any more than that, and it would pick up our scent a league away.
Then it is decided. The 2 of you will go, while Jill and I occupy ourselves here.
Perhaps we might help prepare the broth.
That would be most kind of you.
Come then, Clive. The river of time flows fast, and so must we. There's a Givra that has claimed the ruins at the foot of the mountain as its hunting ground. But as I say, they are wary creatures. We'll need suitable bait to draw it out. The flesh of a forest ibex should suffice.
To the forest, then.
Praise be to the heavens.
When you've decided what you want, just let me know. May it serve you well. Well, if you need it.
Found her. They're almost at the gate. But they won't be coming any closer.
Don't think we're finished!
That should buy Haven some time at least.
Clive, are you all right?
Fine. We've taken care of the immediate threat.
Thank the tides. I was worried I was going to lose you both. Talor, he took a sudden turn for the worse just after...
What?
No, he's hanging on. I fear the Tombury King may have begun the cursing ritual again. And I can't imagine their being here as a coincidence. I think it might be happening on this very mountain.
If it is, it won't be for long. Get back to Talor. I'm going up.
My thanks. I shall pray for both of you.
Ready, go?
Faster! More of them. Come on, then. I crave an audience with your king. Farewell. Come on. Another group. They don't look very regal. It's over!
On the worst for wear.
Run like the wind. Thanks, Gal. Still no sign of the king. Could Fanny have been wrong? There's dozens of them. The king must be close. That's a lot of Tomburys. It's over! Looks like that's the last of them. Out here, anyway. But beastmen do like dark places. Well, I'll be damned. Has a crown. Sorry, Your Majesty, but your reign ends here. It's done. Which means the curse should be broken. Let's see how Talor's doing. Is that the hunter?
It's you. Nasef's savior.
Are you all right? What happened?
I was tracking an ibex when a great spout of water struck me square in the back. Sent me flying all the way across the clearing.
Did you see what made it?
No. All I heard was a noise. An ear-splitting din.
Might this be the culprit? Leave him to us. You've caused enough trouble. Well, that wasn't too bad. Hardly a threat to the village, but you can't blame the boy for being scared.
You made that look a lot easier than it was.
Do you think that was the beast which attacked you?
That thing? Not a chance. Would have heard it coming a league away. And the blast of water that hit me was beyond anything an Archelon can manage.
Oh. A boy from the village sent me in search of a beast that could conjure such things, but...
That's it. That's the noise I heard. Sounded like it came from the ruins.
I'll go. You head back to Haven and see a healer. Good girl.
Yeah!
What do we have here? Straight home now. Found her. Something's been busy. Whatever this creature is, it's out for blood. But it's not having ours. Stay close, Torgal. Where are you? Another fragment of Wallius's rage. I should have known. Time to put you to bed too. Fingers crossed that's the last of them. Either way, I should let Eirik know the danger is past. For now, at least.
Ready, go?
This should be the path to Witchdrop. Hungry, Torgal? And here's our welcoming party. Looks like that's the last of them. Now, where's the grave? This must be it.
My lord, thank you for making the path safe again.
XVI. Was that her name?
Yes. Hardly the most fitting tribute for a dominant, is it? A rough-hewn stone with naught but a given name engraved on it. But my ancestors had only been here a matter of weeks when she passed. Every day was a struggle to survive. They had neither the time nor the energy to devote to a more elaborate memorial. Yet they spared what they could to grant her wish, that even in death she might continue to watch over her home.
She lived down there then, in the ruins.
That's right. They were once the living quarters for those who served up in the temple. When the Northern Thanes sent her here to weave her spell, this was where she and her retinue stayed. There were priests, handmaidens, and a knight sworn to shield her from harm. Of course, they were all gone by the time my ancestors arrived, fled or dead in the Western Wars.
All except Isay, who remained till the end. Alone.
Indeed. At least, that is the story as it's been handed down in Haven. But there is an epilogue to the tale. One known only to Lady Shula and myself. Some years after Isay's passing, you see, my grandmother came here to tend the grave and found a stranger kneeling before it. A knight, dressed head to toe in plate. She asked of him who he was and whence he had come, but received no answer. The only words he spoke were, "Tell me true, whose grave is this?" So she told him of how her people had met and cared for Isay, and how she had died. His only reaction was to stare up at the air of hours in silence. Then he left, never to be seen again.
You said he was wearing plate. Was it black and gold?
Do you know something of him?
When we went up to the Air of Hours to unravel the spell, we were set upon by a shade in the shape of a knight in full plate. It manifested in front of the Vare, and in its ether, I felt Shiva, the witch.
You think this may have been the same man my great-grandmother met? Isay's knight?
I don't know. Maybe. All I can say for sure is it was intent on protecting her creation.
Or perhaps her spirit? What remained of her ether, preserved in the Vare? Perhaps his spirit too became enraveled in her spell, frozen in an eternal vigil.
Till we ended it.
If the shade you fought was Isay's knight, then ending it was the greatest gift you could have given him. Now he can return to the sea, to be with his lady once more. And if his spirit should ever return here to visit her grave, I shall ask his name, that I might carve it in the stone next to hers.
That they might be together. Once and for all.
Thank you, my lord, for reuniting them.
Ready, go?
Enough of you, are there?
These will do nicely. Return to the sea, and to the clouds rise again.
We have our bait then. What next?
Next, we pay a visit to the Dark Gate to pick some local weed. It'll help disguise our scent. There should be a sprig or two of local weed growing somewhere around here. Look for the golden leaves.
Is this it?
Aye, that's the stuff. Crush the leaves between your fingertips and rub them on your clothes.
If you insist. You could have warned me about the smell.
Like corruption, isn't it? We'll have an honor guard of flies before long. But it'll stop the Givra from noticing us. Its nose will tell it we're nothing but a feast for worms.
Oh, I feel so much better.
We can wash it off afterwards. If there's one good thing about the Givra choosing the ruins for its hunting ground, it's that there's plenty of fresh water nearby.
Ready, go? Yeah!
Where should we lay the bait?
Givras are creatures of habit. Look for some sign of its passing. It's sure to return to the same place sooner or later.
Marking its territory.
Something was. A curl, maybe.
Tracks. But I assume they're too small to belong to a Givra.
You're right. They're barely big enough to belong to a Givra's breakfast.
fresh kill.
But not a Givras. The wounds are too clean, too small.
These look like a predator's tracks. You can clearly make out the claws.
And not just any claws. These belong to a Givra. There's no mistaking them. We'll lay the bait here.
Let's hope our friend is hungry. Still no sign.
Patience, Clive. Hunting's not something you can rush.
Have you stalked these beasts before?
Once. Givras are fast, so the job called for a bearer. But even with my knack, it was a close-run thing.
Not many leaders would take such risks for their people.
Says the man who battled an icon to save a boy he barely knew. It is the way of the moats of water to use what gifts we've been given for the good of all. And I gather it's your way too.
It was Sid, the man whose name I bear. He fought for his people and their future with every fiber of his being. I'm just following in his footsteps. In many ways, you remind me of him.
Me? You're confusing daring with desperation. Quiet. Something's coming. Our guest has finally arrived.
Shall we greet him?
It'd be rude not to. Don't let it escape.
You weren't exaggerating when you said they were dangerous.
They're forces of nature, all right. And with this one's passing, the river of life has calmed. O roaring torrent, son of storms, may your spirit run free in the open ocean. This flesh I claim, that your gifts might rain down upon us this day, and our river flow in spate once more. Well then, let's return to the village. We must get this tongue to Yamila before it spoils.